Welcome to the On Deck podcast presented by LineStar. I'm Shannon Sommerville here with Tyler Wiemann, about to break down some daily fantasy baseball. Today is Monday, May 23rd. It is also National Penny Day. I think it's also National Turtle Day, something like
Turtle
that.
Day. That's why
National
I'm wearing
Penny
green.
Day. I didn't have a penny to bring on the show because it's 2022. I don't have change or cash. It's like that TikTok sound, my money don't wiggle, wiggle. It folds.
Oh.
Or jiggle, no, my money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds,
folds.
not wiggle. My money doesn't wiggle either. Okay. So a few weather conditions to get to today as we get back on the rails here. Dodgers at Washington. This is kind of a really up in the air game. Spotty late rain at first pitch. Solid rain for the second half of the game, which would be an absolute soaker. So we're not really sure what they're going to do with this game. But this could have a very drastic impact on where people go with ownership in daily fantasy. So keep an eye on that throughout the day. As of right now, the game is still on, so we're going to kind of roll with it here.
Yeah.
Phillies at Braves. Some afternoon showers, but should be all good. Clear skies by first pitch. And the Yankees, just a warm one. 74 degrees. Could be some nice weather conditions in the Bronx.
Best hitting weather for on the
Best
slate.
hitting on the slate. Watch out, short porch. Let's take a look at our chalk report for today and take a look at some high-owned pitchers. First guy we're going to start with. Speaking of the Bronx, we're going with Yankees righty Garrett Cole, who comes in probably around 42% owned, 2.89 ERA. He's top 25 in ERA, whip, and strikeouts. Now, I know he didn't have the greatest start to the season, but he's kind of settled in a little bit. He's proven that he doesn't need the sticky stuff. And last outing, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 7 innings pitched. That was against the Orioles 5 days ago. So facing them again today, what do you expect from him in fantasy?
Yeah, he's definitely rounding into form. Over the last 5 games, he only has a 2.04 FIP. He has been great. The combined K rate today is 24.5%. Baltimore is league average against righties, though. They're not the Baltimore that we were picking on earlier in the season, and they do strike out at 22%. One thing, though, is that Cole does have some great BVP data. 94 plate attempts. They're only hitting 186 against him, so I think you can be safe rolling with Cole today.
All right. I like to hear that. Mariners lefty Marco Gonzales going up against the A's today. He's actually about around the same ownership level as Cole at 42%, 3.08 ERA. Last outing, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 6 innings pitched. So nothing marvelous. But when you look at the team he's facing today, the A's haven't been good at the plate. 197 is the lowest average in the league in the month of May. They also strike out a lot too, top 5 in that as well. Do you see that as a good matchup for Gonzales today?
Ownership's really going here just because on DraftKings, he's only 5,300. On FanDuel, he's only like 10% owned. So he is a lower owned option on FanDuel. But really, it just comes down to the Oakland matchup. However, versus lefties, they have been slightly below average versus when they're versus righties. They're dead
abysmal.
last and awful, strike out a ton. But
Still,
versus lefties,
you going to take that chance again with
they're not
Gonzales?
great. The combined K rate is it's only like 14%. Gonzales doesn't strike many people out. Oakland strikes out less versus lefties. They're still not great, but he's just a weird one. I did see that in 3 or 4 matchups on DraftKings, he has had 17 points. So at his price, what he's done in the past, he's a viable option.
I feel like you're kind of just meh about him.
I just don't think he's great. He doesn't have a ton of upside, and if everybody is going there, it's hard for me to go after a meh pitcher at high ownership.
For sure. Well, is Phillies righty Zach Wheeler meh today going up against the Braves? He's got a 3.49 ERA, 2.34 opponent average. Last outing against the Dodgers, 7 score, or was it versus the Dodgers or the Padres? 7 scoreless either way, 9 strikeouts for him. Strikeout numbers are climbing. They're getting up there a little bit. So he's 24th. Actually, the Braves are 24th in average, so kind of a better matchup for Wheeler today?
They strike out a lot too. So the combined K rate is 27%, which is the highest on the slate. And over the last 5, Wheeler has a 1.93 FIP. He's really shaken off that early season rust. I think we did cover it last time he pitched, where he had a shortened spring training. So those first couple games were pretty much an extended spring for him. But he's came into form versus Atlanta, which they're 21st in WRC plus versus righty. So they're not the best offense in the world, and they do strike out a lot. So I would say this is kind of a boom bust matchup. If Wheeler can not let a cuna get crazy on him and not let too many guys on base, I think he has a good day.
I say boom.
I think boom too.
Former Binghamton Met.
Oh, yeah, you cover him too?
Former Binghamton Mets bring the boom.
So you had Wheeler, had Thor, DeGrom,
Matt Harvey,
and your boy Matt Harvey.
You know, good squad. Travis d'Arnaud was up there as well. I'm trying to think of who else.
Yeah.
Minor leagues, it's fun, man.
I bet it is.
It's a fun beat.
I bet.
All right, let's take a look now at some low-owned pitchers for today in daily fantasy. First guy we're going to talk about is Astros righty Luis Garcia, who's going up against the Guardians today. 3.35 ERA for him, 2.01 opponent average, so pretty respectable numbers there. Limiting right-handed bats to under a 200 average. In last outing, he did get hit a bit, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, and 4 innings pitched. But in his previous 2 starts before that, he racked up 9 strikeouts. So he definitely has the potential there.
And that's kind of more so where I'm going with this. Over his last 5 starts, he's at a 28% K rate. So he does have that strikeout upside. However, over the last 20, he's at 23%. So I would say today we're getting more so somewhere in the middle of that. But on this slate, pitching's kind of weird. There's a lot of decent guys, obviously a couple aces, but outside of the high-owned guys, there's not that much. So Garcia's kind of a risky one. Cleveland has been good versus righties. However, they have cooled down a lot, only averaging 3.7 runs over the last 7 games.
Yeah.
And those weren't against great teams. It's against Cincinnati, Minnesota, and Detroit. So I like his chances today. Combined K rate, 23%.
To your point, the Guardians in the month of May ranked 17th in average. Remember that hot start they had?
Oh, they were on fire.
Really cooled off.
Yeah.
So not a bad play there for a floor is the ceiling, ceiling is the floor kind of matchup.
Yes.
San Francisco Giants righty Alex Cobb going up against the Mets today. 5.61 ERA for him, 2.86 opponent average. Now, he got shelled the last time out against the Rockies, okay? 10 hits, 7 runs, a home run, just 4 strikeouts in 5 1/3. But asterisk, Coors Field.
Yeah.
And he does, I looked up his, home and away numbers. He has a much better ERA at home, where the game is at home today. So could be a good play.
In a pitching park. Also, Mets could have a little Coors hangover. They were just in Coors.
It happens.
It does.
Not only to people who are drinking Coors, but also playing there as well.
The game total is also super low, 7.5. They're minus 150 favorites. The combined K rate's only 21%, but he is a cheaper pitcher there. And over the last 20 games, he has a 2.94 FIP. So he's been really good pitcher for the last, year and a half or so.
Yeah.
Game conditions are good. It's a pitcher's park, low total. I like taking the chance with, pretty low ownership here.
I'm really liking these plays.
The Mets.
Good job, Tyler.
Mets though are good against righties, so it's not like it's a a smash spot by any means, but
it's worth taking some risks every now and then.
You kind of have to,
especially on National Lucky Penny Day.
Exactly.
If you pick up a penny
Throw
today,
the penny,
you gotta take some risks.
Wish for your low-owned guy, and
there you go.
Move on.
Okay, let's take a look at our stacks for today. And the high-owned for today, no surprise here, Dodgers going up against Nationals righty Yoan Adon. Rain out alert, though, in this one.
Yes.
Remember that. Adone has a 6.38 ERA, 2.61 opponent average, and he hasn't made it to 5 innings in 4 of his last 5 games. And you're talking about the Dodgers, who have the highest OPS versus right-handed pitching. Easy to see why people are hopping on the Dodgers today.
Yeah, and Adone has been bad, too. He's walking almost 6 batters per 9, 6.38 ERA, 5.5 FIP. Dodgers are the second best team versus righties. 5.1 implied total, highest on the slate. So, obviously, if this game plays, Dodgers will be high-owned. However, the rain may scare some people off. So projections are showing they're the highest now. I would expect them to come a little bit lower just because people will be scared, not really knowing what happens. Obviously, if the game doesn't get called prior to lock.
So definitely one that you're paying attention to.
Yeah,
what's going on
if you want to play the
weather.
Dodgers, keep close attention
close
to that
tabs
weather.
on that one.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we're taking a look at the Royals going up against D-backs righty Zach Davies, the ghoster.
The ghoster.
4.35 ERA. Lefties hitting him pretty hard. And what are you liking from the Royals today?
Do you think karma can
strike? The baseball gods have a way of,
they got him last.
Out some karma.
They got him last start. Do you think they can do it again?
I think so. I think the answer to that is yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, so the Royals.
Of course, for people that don't know, we are referring to the fact that we talked about a story last time when Zach Davies ghosted his wife, who he was together with for over a year.
They were together for
her.
10 years. They were married for 5 years before ghosting,
and then just ghosted her. So the wife or ex-wife now went on Instagram. This was a week or two. This is pretty
about
recent.
A week ago.
And said, this is very painful. He's been ghosting me forever, and finally filed for divorce. Good for her. I think she's better off, right? Well, are we better off? Are we better off?
She's for sure better off. I mean, he ghosted her for a year.
Totally.
But Davies has been good this year.
Okay.
Over his last 5 starts, 3.96 ERA, 3.27 FIP. However, over the last 20, it's up to 6.7 ERA and 5.5 FIP. So he's been a total different pitcher this year than he was last. So it's really a question of what Davies do we get. Casey's bottom 10 in offense, and they're missing Salvador Perez, who's their best hitter.
That's a huge
factor. I don't think it's a total smash spot for KC. If we get the Davies of last year, yes. If we get the Davies of this year, it might just be a meh kind of
day.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look now at the next stack we have here, and that's Minnesota going up against Detroit Tigers. Righty Bo Brieski, 5.13 ERA for him. Last time out, got kind of crushed. 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 home runs in 5 1/3 versus the Rays. Righties are hitting him at almost 300 average. So I would see why people are jumping on some Twins.
Bo has not been good. 6.67 ERA, FIP, and he's allowing 2.4 home runs per 9. So he's really just been getting shelled. The one thing is, though, that he's only allowing 29% hard contact over the last month, which was really surprising to me with his home run numbers. And it's just because he is allowing guys to get the barrel on the ball. So when they do, that ball's flying. But Minnesota's round of league average versus righties. I mean, they're in a good spot. Bo's been bad. So
quite simply, we're rolling with some Twins today.
Yep.
Okay, let's take a look at some low-owned stacks and see if we can find some value for you. First, let's take a look at the Astros, who are going up against the Guardians. And there was kind of some questions about who's actually getting the start for the Guardians today. Regardless, the Astros have been heating up. They have the second highest OPS in the month of May. This is the Astros team we're used to seeing.
Yes.
And easy to see why we want some Astros bats in there today against whoever it is.
Yeah, so I've seen that it's either probably Plesac or McKenzie. Both are righties, and Houston is best in the league versus righties. So that's kind of really why we're going there. 4.7 implied total, second highest on the slate. Imagine if the Dodger game is canceled, if it's postponed, Houston may come up into that higher owned spot, especially if it's Plesac. If it's McKenzie, maybe not. So really, we got to wait and see who that pitcher is for sure. But Houston's great. They're hot, and I want to ride that hot
Definitely.
streak.
And last but not least, we've got the Yankees going up against Orioles. It'll be Jordan Lyles on the hill for the O's. He's got a 4.11 ERA, 2.79 average. And Yankees bats have incredibly good BVP data versus him. So another great play. Bronx Bombers, let's go. What are you seeing from the Yankees today?
You're not a homer at all.
Not at all. We're totally objective.
Well, it's by far the best hitting weather on the slate. Lyles has a 5.34 FIP. He's giving up last year he had a 5.34 FIP and was giving up 2 home runs per 9. This year he's at a 3.88 FIP and giving up 1 home run per 9. And I really think it's time for him to kind of regress. I don't think he can hold those numbers all season. He's going against a Yankees team that has hit him well in the past. It's good hitting weather today. Why not stack your Yankees?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Although it will probably be pretty pricey given that they've been pretty expensive. Like Aaron Judge, forget it. That's pretty expensive.
What's funny is Judge is like the only guy that doesn't have good numbers against Lyles.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Everybody else has pretty much hit him well, but not Judge.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, something to note there. Maybe not pay up for Aaron Judge today, but that's okay because he's still awesome. We love the Judge.
Or he's due,
Or he's due. We can go either way. All right, let's take a look now at our home run calls for today. Yes. Who's going yard today? Who you got, Tyler?
I'm going to your New York Yankees with the king of the short porch, Anthony Rizzo. I think he's going to tap one over that short porch today with the nice weather. And over the last 3 years, he has 13 matchups against Lyles, and he is hitting 455 against him with a 545 ISO, and he has 2 home runs, and I expect him to make it 3 today.
Those are some good numbers. Anthony Rizzo, king of the short porch. I like your play there. I'm going with Ronald Acuna Jr. going up against Zach Wheeler. Yes. And Zach Wheeler's a good pitcher. Yep. But against Ronald Acuna Jr., it is Acuna Jr. who has the advantage. He has 3 home runs against Wheeler and 28 at-bats. So not a small sample size. 714 slugging, 1025 OPS. So I'm simply going off of the BVP data for this one, and I'm saying Acuna gets a bomb today. That's my play for
Not scared of the ace.
We're never scared of pitchers. Nope. Come on. We got, they're going to give up. They can strike out a lot of guys, but they also sometimes, make mistakes.
And I think Wheeler's going to strike out
Everybody
plenty.
Makes mistakes from time to time, even the best. So we're going to capitalize on that one. Let's take a look now at our prop bets for today. What you got? What are we working with? Since the pitchers are meh today, are you going pitcher or hitter prop?
Well, there is one pitcher that I like quite a lot today, and that is Zach Wheeler.
Nice.
Over 6.5 Ks at minus 104. The combined K rate today for Wheeler is 27%. He has also hit this in his last 4 starts, and he's averaging 7.5 Ks per game over that time. And in 2021, against the Braves, he hit 6.5 in 4 of 5 starts, and I expect him to do it again today.
Yeah, his strikeout numbers that's kind of lower than I would have expected that's a good.
I think it's a pretty good number for him.
Fair number. I think he goes over as well. Yeah. Good pick there, Tyler. All right, I will tell you where I'm heading, and I'm going Kansas City Royals. Andrew Benintendi over 1.5 bases. That's at minus 110. Now he's only hit this mark 3 out of the last 10 games. However, Benintendi has been heating up over the past week. Today, this lefty bat going up against the righty Zach Davies, whose splits are much worse against lefty bats. Meanwhile, Benintendi has a 359 average, 466 slugging versus righties, and he'll be batting second today. Another thing, his nickname is Benny. That rhymes with penny, and it is National Lucky Penny Day. Could that also mean it's National Lucky Benny Day? I think so. Over 1.5 bases.
That was so corny, and I love it.
We're bringing the dad jokes this Monday.
Somebody's got to.
All right. For more stats and analytics, be sure to visit LineStarApp.com. Download the LineStar app if you want to optimize your lineup. We've got all our data there that'll help you make your plays for the day and win some money. It's where we get all our info for our prop bets. Hopefully it pays off for National Benny Day.
Yeah, National Benny Day. I love it. It's going to happen.
Let's roll with it. All right, that's it for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a good one. Thanks, guys.